Welcome to Hire Power, the show where we cut through the noise and get real about hiring. I'm Kim Frost, founder of Frost Connections, and after 25 plus years in the search industry, I've seen what works and what absolutely doesn't. If you're a founder, CEO, VP, or HR leader who's tired of bad hires and ready to build a team that actually fits your culture and vision, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Beyond the resume, the power of assessments and building a culture that sticks. Welcome back to Hire Power, where we talk about what it really takes to hire with intention, lead with clarity, and build teams that thrive. I'm Kim Frost, your host of Hire Power. Let me start with this. If your hiring decisions are still based solely on resumes, interviews, and a gut feeling, you are absolutely leaving insight on the table. Today's episode is about assessment tools, and not the clunky ones that get filed away and forgotten, or the ones from the Stone Age, such as DISC, Myers-Briggs, etc. I'm talking about strategic, dynamic, integrated tools that help companies reduce turnover, strengthen team dynamics, and build a culture of growth. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this is a shift I'm seeing across most of my client base. It used to be that only the executive team, executive hires, took these assessments. But smart companies are now using them for every single hire across every department, and they're also using them with their current team to improve communication, career planning, and internal mobility. Why? Because the growth isn't just to reduce churn, it's to build cohesion, to build clarity, and it's to invest in people in a way that actually moves the needle. So let me give you a real world example, one that I'm excited to explore more in future episodes with the client themselves. This company implemented a behavioral assessment platform across their entire organization. At first, like many, they rolled it out to their leadership team. But what they quickly realized was the benefit, the true cultural transformation, happened when they expanded it company-wide. So now, before they hire, the hiring manager fills out a profile, not about the candidate, but about the job. They answer a series of questions about what success in the role really looks like, from communication style to pace to decision-making preferences. For example, does this person need to be highly collaborative or more independent? Do they need to move quickly or be more methodical and detail-driven? Do they need to be assertive and strategic or more supportive and process-oriented? The tool then uses that information to create a behavioral profile for the role. That becomes the benchmark to compare candidates against. I will stress also, it is imperative that the hiring manager complete this portion, not the recruiter, not somebody on the interview team, because the hiring manager hopefully knows what are the best traits, behaviors, and characteristics needed for the success in this role. Now, does this replace the interview process? Absolutely not. But it gives hiring leaders something interviews alone often don't: objective insight. It helps uncover how someone might show up under pressure, how they might interact with a future teammate, or where their natural strengths will shine and where they may need support. And once that person is hired, the value doesn't stop. That same assessment data is used for onboarding, manager one-on-ones, career pathing conversations, even team building sessions. One client described it as finally speaking the same language across the company. Now, if you're listening to this thinking, that sounds like a huge lift, you're right. It is. Rolling this out across the entire company is an absolute investment and something that is not done quickly. It takes leadership buy-in first. then it takes training, then it takes intention. It is a real commitment. Ideally, you have one employee that owns this, that is the subject matter expert, and someone who will have the tenacity to work with employees that may have concerns. Because yes, you will have some of those employees. Some may feel threatened. Some may be concerned it will uncover some vulnerabilities. But let me say this loud and clear. This is what it says to your team. We care about how you're wired. We want to understand how to support you best, not just manage you. And we are building a culture of continuous learning. That is your why. And you will have to continue to revert back and remind people of that why. They need to hear it often. That's powerful. And when you think about the cost of replacing a bad hire or the productivity lost from a misaligned team, this kind of investment more than pays for itself. One of our clients told us the biggest change wasn't just better hires, it was fewer misunderstandings. Fewer, well, I thought this is what you meant moments. More awareness, more coaching, and way more trust. Here's the bigger picture though. Assessment tools are no longer just for the C-suite. They're not just for performance reviews or leadership offsites. They're becoming the core infrastructure of smart companies, especially those growing fast, growing through change, or trying to build a more cohesive culture across hybrid or multi-general teams. It's also key for companies that are going through acquisitions. This is where a tool can really help aligning these two different companies that have two different cultures. Because research shows that acquisitions often fail trying to incorporate two different teams, two different cultures. But again, that's a great topic I'll discuss in the future. We've seen a lot of companies go through acquisitions. Because ultimately, it's not just about hiring the right person, it's about setting them up to thrive. And when your managers understand how someone processes information, how they deal with stress, what motivates them, or where they might stall out, that's when real leadership starts. And here's what I love most about these tools. They enforce a growth mindset. When you tell a new employee, this isn't about labeling you, it's about helping us work better together. You've already taken the first step toward a stronger, healthier culture. In an upcoming episode, you'll hear directly from one of our clients who implemented this across the company. They'll talk about what's worked, what was hard, the challenges, the impact, and not just to retention, but how they lead and grow their people. So if you're considering using an assessment tool, or you're already using one but haven't rolled it out beyond the hiring stage, you'll want to tune in for that. In the meantime, here's my challenge to you. What if your hiring process wasn't just about getting someone in the door, but understanding how they are wired and how they can grow? And what if your current team had that same clarity? Because that's what today's top companies are doing. They're not just building teams, they're building systems that support those teams. And that's the kind of culture people stay for. If you'd like to learn more about what types of tools some of my clients have used, reach out to me. I've seen some that are a 10-minute multiple choice questionnaire to on-site evaluations with psychiatrists. Thanks for listening to Higher Power. I'm Kim Frost. And if you found this episode helpful, share it with someone in your network who's ready to hire smarter and lead better. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming interview with the company that's doing this right. See you next time. That's it for this episode of Higher Power. If you're ready to hire smarter, connect with me at frostconnections.com or at LinkedIn at Kim Frost. And if you've got something to say about today's episode, follow the show and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, hire smart, lead better, and remember, how you hire is who you become. See you next week. No fluff, just better hires.